the sandwich generation is really big right now. It seems like with what you're building at Dovetail is especially crucial for the people who are still taking care of young kids, but now potentially taking care of older parents, and being able to just juggle it all with everything else they have going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's so true. The sandwich generation is booming. The statistic, right, 10,000 people a day are turning 65 in this country, and will until 2030. The other end of that statistic is that that's been happening since 2010. So when I was in
Mm.
graduate school, they were saying there's this wave of people that are going to be turning 65. This is going to change what healthcare looks like. This is going to change what reimbursement looks like. This is going to change how we talk about caregiving. And I remember being, in my 20s thinking, "Oh wow, this is something that's going to be huge. Holy cow, we have to like start to build." And nothing really happened.
Hmm.
The conversation around what it means to manage caregiving and your life didn't really rise to the top until the pandemic. People
Yeah.
people sort of really suffered in silence for a long time with this. And then when the pandemic happened and everybody was confronted with the reality of you can't outsource if there's no one to outsource to, people were pulling their family members out of facilities because of all of the things that were going on there. So
Hmm.
really, the conversation around this has always been bubbling under the surface, but now it was right out in the open. And there's also too other just kind of, I don't know, it's not sad, but just shocking things. Like 50% of caregivers in the US don't identify as caregivers. And the
Yeah.
national, there's been all of these big studies that have come out over the last couple of years. The I can't think of the name of it right now. The National Alliance for Caregivers, they just released a study saying that there's 63 million caregivers in the US. So if you apply 50% to 63 million, we're at over 100 million, and that's one in three people in this country
Oh
is a
my
caregiver.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In some regard, not necessarily a sandwich caregiver, but that person is a caregiver in some regard. And then you layer on sandwich caregiving and a lack of infrastructure for caregivers, you're really going down the rabbit hole to a squirrely place pretty quickly.